Let me know if you have heard this already. If you want to ensure your IT project doesn't fail, you must implement proper risk management. You might think it's all about your project management knowledge and skills, but it's really about making people help you manage risks on a project. And today you'll discover a simple and practical approach to introduce effective risk management to your IT projects so that everyone understands how to use it. In this video, you'll learn the most crucial aspect of all your risk management efforts, a two-step process of introducing risk management to a new team, the secret to avoiding unnecessary resistance from the team. But before we dive in, let's try to understand the root cause of the problem. Otherwise, you may fail even before you start. So, why is risk management so hard to implement? First, because risk management is such a popular topic, we often assume that everyone on our team has at least a basic knowledge of it. But the reality is different. Most people on your project probably don't know any structured risk management approach, but they don't want to admit it. Second, many project managers feel uncomfortable bringing a good old risk management framework to a new company. That's because when they face resistance from project team and stakeholders, they assume it makes them look incompetent. Oh, they will see me as yet another project manager who learned theoretical BS from the internet. So you must be wondering, will I learn a new, innovative risk management approach in this video? No. And that's another mistake. You should implement a proven risk management approach, and it should be as simple as possible for your team. Okay, but the root cause of all the difficulties is completely opposite. That's the fourth point. People feel insecure about your risk management efforts because it raises many underlying problems. And in some cultures, and sorry folks from the US and India, but that's true, the word problem is banned from the workplace. So, when introducing risk management, you must apply lots of empathy, trying to understand why others feel so insecure. With that in mind, there is one aspect of risk management that, if done wrong, can produce more harm than good. That's why it's critical that you start with this piece of information. Let me explain. Imagine you visit a doctor after twisting your ankle, and he says, "This is a severe injury." Concerned? You ask, "Severe how?" The doctor responds, "Well, you'll never compete in the Olympics." You sigh with relief. You are a 35-year-old IT project manager who just wants to walk without limping. That's exactly what you see in many projects. How the doctor described the impact of the injury is irrelevant to the patient's needs. Now, imagine a different response from this same doctor. "This is a severe injury." Concerned? You ask, "Severe how?" The doctor responds, "Sitting for too long will make the swelling worse. So every hour you'll need to stand up, stretch, and take a short walk, which might not go over well in back-to-back Zoom calls." This is the risk impact analysis tailored to the needs of stakeholders. And you see, based on these, you must structure all other risk management activities. That's why it's critical that you describe the impact and probability by focusing on the primary aspect of the project that key stakeholders care about. For example, if your stakeholders care most about deadlines, you should provide impact grades based on potential delays. But it goes beyond that. For example, you also need to consider the size and duration of the project before using absolute or percentage values. So you got the point. You need to tailor impact and probability descriptions to the needs of key stakeholders here. My risk management plan template contains some examples, and in just a few minutes I will explain how to access it. That's because now you should ask yourself this question: what specific steps are involved in introducing risk management to the team? Actually, there are two simple steps here. So let me illustrate the first one. Imagine you are on a road trip. You are crossing a patch of desert and there are no gas stations for miles around. Suddenly, your car breaks, you have no water, and time is running out. So, what would you prefer to have at hand? 600-page long manual for your car? Or a booklet called 7 Common Causes Why a Car Breaks in the Desert and How to Fix Them? Obviously, you may have the third option, and it's to start calling for help and hope they will help you over the phone. But that's precisely what happens on most projects without a project management booklet. People start constantly distracting you, the project manager. And that's how people on your project feel. They don't want to master all aspects of risk management. They need a simple booklet that explains what to do in a concise and simple form. And overall, I am not a big fan of writing project management plans, especially for IT projects. However, the risk management plan is a non-negotiable exception. You must have a written risk management plan on your project. But don't worry, if you haven't done it before, I've got you covered. Inside my professional development plan, you'll find links to many templates. Use them as a starting point. The link is in the description and it's totally free. Now, if you remember at the start of the video, I said that the main challenge is to make people help you manage risks. So, going forward, your main goal is to educate people to use your risk management plan and overcome all their objections. So, you must be wondering what makes this approach work every time. Because I agree, implementing the whole risk management framework will probably fail if you don't use this simple technique I'm about to share with you. But first, ask yourself, what is the biggest problem when introducing something new to the team and stakeholders? I hope you guessed it correctly. It's resistance to change. But that's where many project managers see it wrong. You may assume that you must overcome the team's resistance as a whole. That's why you prepare one general presentation for everyone. Instead, you must actually overcome each individual's resistance. Why? Well, they all have different fears, insecurities, and objections. As a result, you are simply outnumbered one against many. And you and I know you already have many other things on your plate. So you might not have enough energy to work with each person separately. That's why you need to implement the insurgent technique. And it's like sending a spy into the enemy territory, but maybe with good intentions. So you need to find supporters in the team and motivate them to help you. Usually team leaders and people with authority are the most useful here. And the idea is very simple. First, you sell them your idea of new improvement. Second, you get their support in this initiative. The best way to do it is to tailor this initiative to their professional development plan. You should promise that if they help you and the initiative is successful, you'll ensure they will get a positive performance review. Third step, share the workload. Ask them to plant the seeds in the sub-teams and educate them a bit on the benefits of proper risk management. Your supporters should work with their peers behind the scenes. Last but not least, you should agree to support each other during meetings. If there are objections or conflicts from team members, your supporters should always add their perspective. But here's a problem. All of this is totally useless if you can't show the team real examples right away. So you need a simple risk identification workflow. You need to explain when they need to look for risks, what techniques to use and how, what to do when they discovered a risk. That's why I recommend that you watch this video next, where I explain a simple and practical approach to risk identification. You'll get a whole system that you can use on your project immediately. Click the video now, I'll see you there.